Thank you for joining us for part 2 on the Red Couch with Kelly Atkins. What about someone that comes to class and they don't think they're a dancer? They think, oh, I'm terrible at this. This is not for me.
Yeah, I get that all the time, and I love it. I think that people who have less traditional training of dance even do better. They have less preconceived notions of what dance is supposed to look like or what the steps are supposed to look like. They're a little more organic.
Right.
And it's an evolution over time. I love the look in their eyes after their 4th or their 5th dance, and they start to say, you know, really, I can dance. And my personal belief, and also watching my boys, is that dance is as natural as breathing or talking. We're born, and then we start to move, and it's everything that we do. Right now, we're dancing, you and I. It's a relationship, and it's to our bodies, to the music, to whoever we're dancing with.
I love that proverb, I think it's from Zimbabwe, that says, if you can walk, you can dance.
Oh, yes, absolutely. You know, it's so funny, coming from traditional fitness, it took me a long time to say I'm a dancer. And now I can say it, and I am a dancer. And I think you are a dancer, and everyone is a dancer. It's an important, empowering step to own that and to say, I am a dancer. Don't have to have the traditional training to be a dancer.
Yeah. I like to dance in my living room.
Yay, confession.
Probably my neighbors think I'm incredibly insane. But what do you think about dancing in your own living room?
I think it's so great. I think that especially in times with my kids, if I'm getting stressed out or we're just not linked with each other, we're having some conflict, if I put music on and I just get silly and dance, they like Ghostbusters. That's one of their favorite songs. But it really can shift things. It's magical. And it's funny, thinking about it sounds silly, and yet it's a really poignant tool that you can put music on. It's even great to do in a corporate setting and just get everybody to dance. It shifts everybody, gets giggles going, gets the heart rate going a little bit, and then the brain functions better too.
Yeah. So how has dance brought you to your own way of loving yourself and to help you appreciate your own body with all of its changes, with aging, with all the things that in our culture are not really, you know, shined a happy light on, you know? There's a lot of judgment about those things. Has that helped you?
It has. It's connected me more with my inner self and my inner wisdom, so I'm not so connected outside, overly connected outside. I danced through 2 pregnancies right up until a week or 2 before both babies were born, and then went right back to dance after. And you know, it's an opportunity every time I go to class to connect to the sensations of my body, to get out of my head a little bit, and really check in with what's happening and be in the present moment. And definitely the emotion thing, especially early on. I danced, I tell my students, I'm really surprised I had any students at all the first couple of years, because I really danced for me those years. And I had so many emotions, and I just think it would be funny if I saw myself on video now to see how I danced then. And then now I dance, and it connects me to joy in such a deep way. And it's different. In the earlier on, it was joy, but it was also very lots of emotions that didn't appear so joyful, but it felt good to release them.
So let's say you don't feel connected to your body, and you don't feel grounded, for instance. Like a lot of us feel like there's so much going on in the world, and there's so much stress, and there's so many things that you have to do and deadlines, and we're not really like breathing in our bodies, feeling our bodies, sitting on the couch. What's like a simple exercise that people could do?
Take your shoes off. You know, our feet are designed with 7,000 nerve endings in each foot. And for most of us, especially as we age, we get so disconnected from our feet. That's part of the problem with elderly and with walking, that they get almost like paralyzed. And the cool thing is that can come back. All that awareness of sensation in the feet can come back. If you've ever watched a baby move their toes, they look like these like waves almost. So we have that ability. If you take your shoes off, take your socks off, be outside if you can, but even if you're just inside, and just start to walk and feel the bone of your heel, feel the arches, feel the toes.
Our feet are always locked up in shoes.
Yes, and they should be. They're like the hands that touch the earth. They should be moving like fingers, or, you know, we have that potential.
That's a great thing to do. And I know you do a lot at the end of class with lying on your back and just really lying on the earth.
Yes. Yeah, that's one of the best, if you're feeling very tired, to get right down on the floor and do the developmental stages. Embryonic is the first one, where you just go on your back and you either rock from side to side or move around like you're inside of a bubble, and you're getting into a different conscious state than we are like right now. Yeah. It's going into what's called pre-verbal wisdom, and it's that sense that your body will know where to move and how to move, and you can just witness it and watch it without really thinking. It's just phenomenal. It's a very nourishing feeling to the body and to the brain.
I mean, I love your definition of dance, that it's really everything.
Everything.
Yeah. And I've always believed that your body kind of has a memory of different experiences. Yeah. So can you dance through that? In other words, can you move through, say, a difficult experience that your body kind of held trapped?
Oh, so beautifully. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, as soon as we start moving the body, whatever is happening in that part of your body that you're moving is a release of whatever experience it is. I've had people even say, sometimes in the dance, we'll do movements that are animal-like. And I've had people, really feel like they are flying. They're moving their hands and they're imagining. And yet, who knows, with the consciousness of our cells. I don't know.
Well, you've talked about brain research, and how people say, oh, do crossword puzzles to keep your mind active. Yeah. And what does dance bring to the mind?
It's the secret. It is the absolute secret. In March, I do a whole week of classes that focus on different parts of the brain, and it's just fascinating. But the latest research is that the crossword puzzles will help, but once you tie in movement patterns and the brain itself, or freestyle movement and the body is moving, that is where the neurons actually start to create the synapses that we want to have. So those times that you get stuck, you go to a class and you don't know the step, that's the brain redoing a neuron connection. So it's a brilliant moment. It's a moment to celebrate.
And do you also just recommend people to, it sounds like there's two ways to do it. You can learn the systematic, this is this step, then turn this way. Yep. So that's using like more the left side of your brain?
Exactly.
Yep. And then the free movement is more using the right side?
In a real general sense, yes. In a real general sense, exactly. Yeah, they've done brain research. I forget her name. I think it was Jill Bolte. She was a brain researcher, and she had a stroke in her left side of her brain, so the logical side. Yet she was conscious enough to witness herself exploring the right side of her brain, because that's where all the activity went since the left side was damaged. Right. And she described it sounded so much like a dance class to me with freestyle movement. She said it was ecstatic, that everything she touched felt magical, that it was a complete bliss state. She even, as she was going into healing after she was in the hospital, had some reservation of getting that left side back because the right side was such a blissful place for her to be.
Wow. That's incredible.
Yeah.
What is your hope for participating in this 1 billion rising, in the Break the Chain, in contributing and dedicating your energy to being a part of it?
Yeah. My hope is that I'm personally going to take the pledge that not only am I dancing to break the chain, but I want to be aware of the subtle ways that I can honor the feminine, even if it's asking someone to speak to me in a different tone of voice or something subtle like that, or just figuring out where can I, throughout this next year, add more support and more compassion and more awareness of this problem. And I don't think it's an absolute ending to violence. I don't think that it can happen like that. But I do think that it can raise awareness, and if we all just start doing little things, it is an opportunity to really start to create change.
Yeah. You've talked a lot about loving your body and how you didn't love your body for a while in your 20s and working through an eating disorder. But that seems to be such a, you seem so in love with your body now, and it's a really beautiful thing to witness.
I have to share with you, there's a funny story. I have learned that my body is way more than what it looks like. And my 4-year-old will touch my belly and he will say, "Mommy, it's nice and squishy, I love it."
Thank you.
And I giggle about it because it's like, wow, I've spent so much time wanting that flat board abs or whatever. But to hear him say that gives me so much more joy than to be in a gym doing 500 crunches and thinking, who am I doing this for?
Right. So if you had a juicy secret to living a happy and successful life, what would it be?
I would I feel that it's my purpose for my life force, to be on earth, is to help other people learn to love their bodies through also me loving my own. And if I can model that and touch as many people as I possibly can, then I feel like I've spread more love in the world. And I think that's a worthwhile place for me to put my energy.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, and thank you for being willing to put all of your energy into teaching all of us and sharing it.
I can't wait. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you for joining us on the Red Couch.